Alright, what's up guys? So, Fact Faction has uploaded a video titled 6 Craziest Dashcam Moments Caught on Camera. This is number 2. Make sure if you guys haven't, go check out number 1. And also make sure you guys go subscribe to Fact Faction for more videos like this. But anyways, alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. See what it's all about. I just gotta make sure, okay. Yeah, I'm lined up perfectly. Alright, so, get into this video. Dashcam videos be crazy.
Toddlers, and traffic. When you're behind the wheel, you can witness some strange stuff. It can be hard to describe the hijinks you see on the open highway. But if you've got a camera rolling, you might just go viral on YouTube.
It's recommended.
We got some footage today.
But like besides, oh yeah, that video was crazy. But besides that, but just also like for your safety, because I know there might be a time where somebody might crash into you and then they trying to blame you, or even if it's on some stuff where it's like a person they just randomly, it'll be on some stuff like this. Then you crash into the back of the car. This video was different, but they might be on some stuff where they're all like, oh no, you just randomly rear-ended me and stuff. And yeah, then I guess like the cops will look at it and then look at it as like, okay, well, yeah, just because of the situation, you know, yeah, we're gonna blame you. And then you having to pay for a person's car on some dumb stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, just get a dash cam, but for your safety.
To truly terrifying. Fasten your seatbelts for a second installment of the craziest moments caught on Dashcam.
Out of clear blue sky. What, plane crashing? Dang.
Stop and go traffic can lead to some of the most boring moments behind the wheel. However, on May 2nd, 2017, a driver in Mukilteo, Washington, captured a cinematic scene that looked like it was ripped straight from the silver screen.
I'm trying to think, did I hear about this? I probably did. I just forgot about it. That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh yeah, bruh. I'm getting up out of there.
Shortly after taking off from Payne Field, just north of Seattle, the small Piper aircraft lost engine power and was forced to make an emergency landing near the intersection of Mukilteo Speedway and Harbor Point Boulevard Southwest. Although it looks dreadful, the pilot did an excellent job, and there were no casualties in the incident, despite the heavy traffic on the street.
That's good.
The fireball was caused when a fuel cell ruptured as the plane grazed a stoplight just before impact.
Oh, wow.
Gasoline poured out of the gash and caused a nearby vehicle to catch fire. With such a Hollywood-esque explosion and dramatic crash, you would expect a fair bit of carnage, but only 2 individuals suffered minor injuries. All in all.
Yeah, I feel like something like this. That's one thing that I say, that it's like, it's poor weather conditions, because I'm from Washington. So it's like, when the sky looks like this, I'm like, yeah, I guess if it's like one of those planes that's like traveling to different states, okay. But I feel like if it's one of those like planes where it might just be traveling just, kind of like so it's on some scenery type stuff, I don't know, man. I'm like, I just feel like, sometimes the weather conditions out here can be crazy. And I'm like, I know I wouldn't trust my flying, especially if the weather is bad. I'm like, yeah, if it's like clear skies and all that stuff and I can see where I'm going, okay. I don't think that was overall the reason why he crashed. But still, it's just, it's one of those things where I just wouldn't trust the idea of flying and stuff. So, but anyways.
Road closures and brief power outages were likely annoying to Mukilteo residents. It could have been much worse.
Yeah.
Registered to Klamath Falls Aviation in Klamath Falls, Oregon, the plane's owner is listed as Justin Dunaway. Though Dunaway is certified as a student pilot by the Federal Aviation Administration, local news reported that he was a passenger during the crash.
Oh.
The name of the heroic pilot, as well as the cause of the engine failure, remains unknown, though the National Transportation Safety Board is reportedly investigating it.
That's crazy. Oh, wow. Oh, nah.
Truck driver Chad Mock is a veteran with 20 years of experience under his belt. By his own admission, he's witnessed some strange events. But the scene that unfolded in front of him on January 14th, 2019, topped them all. While driving his black pickup truck through the downtown streets of Mankato, Minnesota, Mock saw something that was unbelievable. even to his experienced eyes.
You could tell the door is open. That's crazy. Nah, it's like and they're still driving. It's like, fam, to me, that's on some stuff where it's like, I don't get how that could happen. I feel like anybody can hear their door being open. It doesn't even look like it's like the weather is at like a high temperature to where like your windows would be down and you can't really hear it open up. That I'm assuming that them windows is rolled up. How do you make this mistake, bruh? Like that? Nah, bro. Because immediately I'm stopping the car, I'm getting out there, and I'm getting my kid. But it's like, yeah, that's just on some stuff where I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say that this is overall, because it could just be on some stuff where you just forgot, and I don't know. But still, that's just on something where it's like, how do you make a mistake like that? Like, that's something where I'm like, I haven't got kids, but I be sitting down thinking, I'm like, okay, what are some ways I could like make sure that a kid that I don't even have just yet is like safe? And so, yeah, that's just on something where I'm like, I don't know, bruh. I don't know how like your door can be that open to where it just, I don't know if it was the kid, if they accidentally open up the door and then they caused them to do that. I don't know. But yeah, even if it is that, the kids should still be strapped down to the car and, so they not rolling out. But that's crazy. That
Thankfully,
is crazy.
The 2-year-old toddler in the footage
and they still
was
driving
and reportedly not even upset when Mock reached her on the road. About 20 minutes after the child fell out of the 2004 Honda Civic, a distraught woman appeared on the scene as first responders examined the young girl. Accompanied by another small child and a friend who could translate for her, the woman identified herself as 40-year-old Maimuna Hassan and said she was the toddler's mother. A tearful Hassan, who had been behind the wheel when her daughter was ejected from the vehicle, insisted that the toddler had indeed been properly secured. She offered a further explanation to authorities, noting that the car door just popped open, so the child must have unlocked it. However, even if the car door had accidentally opened, if the seat were correctly installed, it would not have exited her Civic. Upon further inspection of Hassan's car, it was revealed that the latch straps one would typically use to secure a car seat were missing, even though a 2004 Honda Civic is latch compatible. A second car seat, likely for the other young child in Hassan's care, was found in the vehicle as well, though this one was properly installed. Furthermore, when the child was rescued from the road, it was discovered that the chest clip on the car seat was unbuckled. Essentially, the child was failed on 3 levels. Though Hassan was not arrested right away, police discovered that she was not legally allowed to drive. At the time of the incident, she only
That's
had
even more so of a reason. That is crazy, man.
Owner's permit, meaning that she should not have been behind the wheel without another licensed driver in the vehicle to supervise her. Eventually, she was charged with 1 count of child endangerment, 1 count of a license violation, and 1 count of not fastening a child's restraint. Though these charges can carry a sentence up to a year in jail and fines ranging from $1,000 to $3,000, a plea agreement was reached in 2021. Hassan pled guilty to charges of careless driving and received an infraction for improperly restraining a child.
That's crazy.
Sentenced to a year of probation and mandated parenting and child restraint classes, Hassan can avoid jail if she keeps a clean driving record during her probationary period. Should she fail, she could face up to 90 days in prison.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm like, my thing is this: for one, you shouldn't have been behind the wheel of a car. So that's just my advice to people out there. If you ain't have a license suspended, learner's permit, whatever the situation is, if you don't need to be behind the wheel of a car, you do not need to be behind the wheel of a car. Do not be behind the wheel of a car under any circumstances. Even if it's on some stuff where it's like, if you really gotta go somewhere, like let's say if your child is sick, and it's like, if it comes down between driving and then taking care of your child or sitting there and watching, it's like, do what you gotta do and things if it's an emergency. But if not, and what, you're just out shopping around or something? Nah, bruh. I'm like, that's on some stuff where I'm like, you either order that stuff on a website or you just don't go out, or you wait until there's somebody that could be around in the car with you. But even with the seatbelts and all that stuff, if you gotta double check, triple check, do however many amounts of checks that you need to do to make sure of it, okay? Because me, I'm like, fam, if it's even on some stuff where I'm like just around the house where it's like it be an inanimate object, I'm like, I still be checking and making sure that stuff be like, locked up properly and all that stuff. So yeah, that's on something where I'm like, nah, fam, that's just, I don't know about that case. That case is like, that's kind of fishy, but I just, it's one of those things where I'm like, if she learned her lesson and she didn't mean no harm, then okay. But yeah, that's something where I'm like, nah, if I'm the father, I'm like, I'm definitely making sure I'm child surveillance 24/7, bruh. This story, I think, will always be crazy.
In September 2015, dashcam footage captured a driver of a 2010 Hyundai Sonata behaving erratically on Harbor Boulevard in La Habra, California.
Just randomly gets out the car. It's like, still to this day, it's such a wild video. I've seen this video so many times, it's like, it's still wild to this day. Because it's like, lady, why? Like, she really pulled the Grand Theft Auto. She just got out the car and just started.
The woman who exited the vehicle, identified as 22-year-old Jasmine Lacey, was found wandering the area on foot by California Highway Patrol. Initially taken to the hospital following the incident for a non-injury related reason, she was later arrested for driving under the influence.
Yeah.
A CHP officer at the scene noted that Lacey was unable to clarify a statement because she was so intoxicated.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, the collision between the Honda and the Lincoln in the oncoming lanes, caused by her carelessness, resulted in only minor injuries. However, after only 4 days in custody, Lacey was released while officials awaited the results of her blood tests. Los Angeles County booking records state that there was insufficient evidence to support a criminal complaint. Once her blood tests,
there's something is wrong with her. For her to I'm like, for her to do some stuff like that, no, something wrong with you. I'm like, nah, your license, if you have a license, it's suspended for life because you don't need to be behind the wheel of a car if you're gonna be doing some stuff like that. So
it seems that Lacey was charged with driving under the influence of drugs, hit and run with a runaway car, and driving without a valid license.
Yeah.
When she failed to appear on her appointed court date of February 10, 2016, a warrant was issued for her arrest, and she was apprehended on April 18th of the same year. Some questions were raised about Lacey's mental competency, and she was scheduled to be assessed at the Mental Health Courthouse in Los Angeles on May 19, 2016, before appearing for her hearing at the West Covina Courthouse the next day. Today, the case of Lacey versus the people of the state of California is listed as closed, but the outcome and her final judgment and sentencing remain unclear. It looks like she spent some time in the Los Angeles County Jail, but her current whereabouts are unknown.
It's like, yeah, woman needs to be locked up in a house somewhere. It's like, you go out and do some stuff like that. Nah, I'm sorry, but it's like, you do not need to be behind the wheel of a car. It's like, you're one of those people where I'm like, nah, call Ubers, call Lyfts, whatever the situation is, but you don't need to be behind the wheel of a car.
After a long shift at a Circle K gas station in Louisville, Kentucky, 22-year-old Sean Blomer was ready to head home. It was August 2012, and Sean made his way out into the muggy summer night towards his car. Before he had a chance to leave, 2 men and a woman approached him. Suddenly, the trio attacked Sean, binding his wrists, gagging him, and covering his head with a towel. They unceremoniously shoved him into the trunk of his own car, noting, "This isn't personal, we need your car," before slamming the lid shut.
I'm like, okay, take it. You ain't gotta take me.
Hours passed, and as Sean drifted in and out of consciousness, the carjackers drove up and down the city streets looking for drugs. During a period of lucidity, Sean noticed that the vehicle had stopped. Peering through a small crack in his damaged taillight, he was able to see flashing red and blue lights.
That's crazy. drugs should not have you carrying on like that. People, if you got drug issues, get that stuff checked out. As hard as it may seem, and I know people are like, oh, it's not that bad. People be saying that now, and I'm pretty sure they were saying that when they very first got into it. Now look, it's like you in a fact faction compilation got me reacting to this stuff, telling people and warning people the dangers of, of not doing drugs or doing drugs and stuff. Don't do drugs, people. If you are, stop. That's crazy. That is
Thankfully
crazy.
for Sean, his expired license plates attracted the attention of a pair of policemen on patrol. When he heard one of the officers ask the man driving the car about the vehicle's insurance, he began to shout and pound on the trunk. Alarmed, officers Frederick Wilson and Daniel Goldbert drew their weapons and radioed for backup. All three of his attackers were arrested at the scene and identified as 27-year-old Trent Bly, 28-year-old Joseph Davis, and 28-year-old Brittany Elder.
It's like, fam, that's what's crazy is that I'm literally the same age or like in that same age group as them, yet they look, bro, I'm telling you, they look older than me. Like, we don't look the same age, all right? I'm sorry, but I'm like, nah, that's not something. I'm saying drugs will have you looking like that. They have you looking like that you about 10, 12 years older than somebody and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Leave them drugs alone.
Kidnapping, wanton endangerment, and theft. They were each booked into jail with a $50,000 bond. Elder faced some additional charges after officers found 3 bags of heroin and a crack pipe on her person while they were conducting a routine pat-down. In 2014, the 3 were found guilty of their crimes. At the time of recording, it appears that they are still serving their sentences in various Kentucky state penitentiaries and will likely remain there until 2025 at the earliest.
Wow.
As for Sean, he was rushed to the hospital following his ordeal and treated for dehydration, as well as some minor bumps and bruises. When his rescuers were celebrated for their heroism at a ceremony shortly afterward, he had the opportunity to meet them. Grateful and happy to be alive, Sean noted, "There is not a lot I can say except thank you, but it means more than that."
Nah, if I'm Sean, I definitely would ask. I'm like, so, because I know you guys was pulling me over for expired tabs or something. So am I gonna get a ticket for that? Or that is crazy. That expired tabs saved this man's life. Nah, yeah, that's something where I'm like, I don't encourage you guys to have expired tabs, but I'm just saying, expired tabs, they can be lifesavers. That is crazy. Wow. Look out for it. Dang.
It was a pristine fall day in Telluride, Colorado on October 10th, 2020. 23-year-old Susie Rhodes, her boyfriend Rich Fowler, and their 2 Labrador dogs piled into Fowler's cherry red Jeep Wrangler and headed out to Bridal Veil Falls for a day of off-roading in the mountains. As the couple turned onto Black Bear Pass, an off-roading trail notorious for its tight and dangerous switchbacks,
yeah.
They had no idea what lay in store.
Nope. I wouldn't even fool with some stuff like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. It don't look like, hopefully ain't nobody. It didn't look like nobody was in the car, but yeah.
Just before the events we see in the video, Fowler had parked his Wrangler and applied the emergency brake before exiting the vehicle to assist another off-roader behind them. Moments later, the car began to slide off the trail, with Rhodes and the 2 labs still inside. Panicked, Fowler attempted to jump back inside the Jeep to steer it away from the edge, but it was too late. The car began to roll, throwing him onto some nearby rocks before tumbling down the edge of the mountain. Though Rhodes and the dogs were eventually thrown from the vehicle before the video we saw took place, she estimates that the car flipped at least 20 times before she was ejected. The Telluride Daily Planet reported that, all in all, The Jeep rolled over 6 switchbacks before coming to rest. Fowler and Rhodes were both taken to Telluride Medical Center where they were assessed. He was treated for minor injuries and released, while Rhodes was flown to St. Mary's Hospital in the larger city of Grand Junction, Colorado, about 2.5 hours north. Rhodes miraculously survived the horrific accident, though she suffered a spinal cord injury that impaired her ability to walk. Wheelchair-bound and given a 5% chance at recovering her mobility, she worked tirelessly in physical therapy. By April 2021, she was able to stand and take small steps with the assistance of her walker. Her recovery has continued well, and she hopes to return to Black Bear Pass in the near future. As for the dogs, one was found immediately after the accident unharmed.
Oh,
the second dog was missing for a few days, but was later recovered by a couple who heard frantic barking and spotted the puppy stranded on a steep incline. Thankfully, he too was healthy with nothing but a small scratch on his leg. At the time of recording, it is unclear how Fowler and Rhodes are doing in the present, but we wish them the best in their continued recovery.
I would not return back to the place that literally caused me to be in a wheelchair. I'm sorry, but I would not fool with that. Nah, that's just something where I'm like, no, I would not. And something like that caused me to go through all of that and then just to see this video, nah. I'm like, I would never fool with that place again. I wouldn't even want to see that place in a video game. I'm like, nah, that is traumatizing. That is crazy. I do not encourage people. If something causes you to be wheelchair bound, even if it causes a little paper cut, bruh, don't even fool with it.
Mother Nature has a way of making us feel small, and tornadoes are one of her fiercest weapons. Although the United States is the best-known country for tornadoes, receiving over 800 per year on average, Europe can also see some nasty twisters, particularly during the spring season, though they are a bit less common. In May 2018, Asterios Kavetsis was driving through Schwalmtal, Germany, when his dashcam happened to capture some footage of Mother Nature flexing her muscles.
Malaga! What a malaga!
Dang, it's like stuff hitting his car. Oh yeah, you could tell. It's crazy. And they still driving towards it.
Malaga!
I would not be driving towards it. Why are you guys still driving towards it? Back the car up. I'm like, bro, reverse, turn. That is crazy. That is insane. And they just, So like reverse is just no longer okay. I mean, you know. Everybody they be trying to get their videos. Do not encourage this. So like if you are out there and see a tornado, literally turn the car around and get up out of there. Even if you gotta drive in the grass and stuff, like fam. I don't know why everybody's just all like, oh, let me just sit here and record. And, you know, I don't get that stuff, man. Coming from a content creator where you think I'll be going around trying to record everything, situation like this, turning the car around, gone.
When a mass of warm, humid air collided with an incoming cold front and was rated as an F2 on the Fujita scale. This means that wind speeds reached anywhere between 113 to 157 miles per hour, making it a considerably destructive storm. According to the Rheinische Post, 2 people were injured and 40 to 50 homes were damaged. Some properties were no longer inhabitable after the storm passed through, and emergency shelters were needed for many families. Fallen trees blocked roads and rail lines, and 5 towns, including Schwalmtal, were all affected. Though the storm came and went in a matter of 15 minutes, it caused a fair bit of mayhem during its brief duration. The motorist was extremely lucky. One of the worst places to be during a tornado is inside of a car, since it can be easily picked up and thrown by a strong enough twister. If you find yourself in a similar situation, the best course of action is to abandon your car and seek shelter in a low-lying ditch if no other safe shelter is available to you. If you must stay in your car, stay low and cover your head.
How would it? I don't know. Me, I would turn that car around and I'm gone.
So even if you think you've seen it all, remember that the Dashcam always sees more.
Yeah.
Which topics would you like to see covered next? Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.
I'm gonna just say, like, when he showed this screen and it showed the YouTube bar at the bottom, I thought that's how much of the video I had left. And I was about to say, I'm like, fam, you're ending the video, but I'm like, what's all this extra I was like, nah, I'm gonna have to see about that, but I think that was it. But yeah, man, dashcam videos is crazy at times. I'm like, the times where I've sat down and just watched some dashcam videos, even long before I was like into recording reaction videos. I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, dashcam videos can be crazy at times. So, but anyways, make sure if you guys haven't, go subscribe to Fact Faction for more videos like this. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.